Welcome back to BK Nothing But Nets podcast. Following, what was the final score? I stopped watching the last couple of seconds. What was the final score in today's game?
119 to 109.
119 to 1. Great job by the Nets to hold someone under 120. Extraordinary. 119 to 109 lost to the Raptors. The Nets fall to 3-13 now. And somehow that's not even the worst record in basketball. But the Nets are 3-13. Tyrese Martin, 26 points. Again, Michael Porter Jr. scored 25 on very efficient shooting. Noah Clowney dropped 22. There's some bright sides. Porter's playing really well. Clowney, I don't know. I always feel like he's playing like trash. And I look at his box score. His box score is always pretty good. Fairly efficient shooting. Give me your thoughts on Noah Clowney. What am I to make of Noah Clowney thus far? 16 games in.
I think realistically he is taking I wouldn't say a leap, but he's definitely improved this season. The only area that he continues to struggle in, he has since college, is his three-point efficiency. All right, he was like a 22 to 24% three-point shooter in college. It's still around the same right now. Um, I think that he really needs to lessen the amount of shots that he's taken from beyond the arc and start taking smarter shots. That is the only area of critique that I can really give him. Outside of that, though, he's putting the ball on the floor. He's getting, in the paint. He's hitting his free throws. He's playing solid defensively. Like I can't complain with anything.
The defense is the biggest area of improvement. It's just not that he blocked a couple of shots the last couple of games. Like his defense is clearly improving on the perimeter. He's playing much better defensively.
Yeah.
His 3-point shot's not falling. I'm not that concerned about that. He's hit that consistently enough in the past where that will, I believe, start to fall. I just hate it when he has games where you look at him and he's 2 for 6 and all 6 of his shots are 3-pointers. Like I hate that for him. But that's not what we saw today. He was 7 for 15, and he was 1 for 7 for 3. That means he was getting to the basket, getting mid-range shots. He was doing all of that. He wasn't just. I hate it when his entire stat line is 2 for 6 from the field, 2 for 6 from 3, 6 points. That drives me insane.
Definitely. I see this comment here. Jordy lost this game with his substitutions. Good job, Jordy.
Let's address
we needed this loss.
Let's address this. I mean,
we needed this one badly.
Yeah, pro or con, and first, do you agree with the statement? And let's say hypothetically you did agree with the statement. Is it a good thing or a bad thing?
If I agree with that statement,
do you agree with the statement? First of all, yeah. Do you agree with the statement?
I think the rotation that was put out there is necessary to lose, and that's why they lost by 10 while they were only down with 3 minutes left. Or they were down 2 with 3 minutes left in the game?
I think they had the game tied with about 3 minutes. They tied it a couple of times, yeah.
So to me, that was necessary. Good job, Jordy.
I think the substitution pattern was fine. Actually, I'd like to see more of Drake.
I was to say, I just saw the next comment down. Dude, I'm sorry. I don't give a shit about Tyrese Martin. I'm so tired of this. Can we stop? The glorifying of role players in this fan base is truly a generational battle. Like, this is the battle for Nets fans with overhyping and glorifying role players on dog shit teams is quite literally like the Battle of D-Day.
He's talking about Tyrese Martin.
Over it. Yeah. Like, just,
it's Tyrese Martin.
What? So mid. They're playing on a dog shit team at free will and being able to do whatever they want. Come on.
I wasn't even going to mention Tyrese Martin. Yes, Tyrese Martin played well today. What does it matter? Like, what the hell does it matter if Tyrese Martin played well? I just don't like. What does it matter? You want to address that, Dylan?
There's no point of playing Tyrese Martin. There's really not.
I don't even understand why he's on the team, but continue.
I was gonna say he was the person I thought was getting cut. Like Keon Johnson earned a spot over Tyrese Martin. The only reason why Keon got cut is because of an injury. Like Tyrese Martin isn't even supposed to be on the team. He's playing well. Don't get me wrong, but my goodness, he doesn't make 28 out of 30 NBA rosters.
Yeah, I was just if Tyrese Martin got cut tomorrow, is he out of the NBA? A very good possibility.
Yeah, I mean, outside of the Wizards and the Nets, I don't think there's a team out there that he is on that he has a spot on. Like realistically, the Pelicans have Jose Alvarado. They've got Jeremiah fears they have DeJounte Murray. Sure, they're dealing with injuries, but when healthy, Tyrese Martin's not on that team. Sacramento, Devin Carter, Dennis Schroeder, they don't need another point guard. They also have Keon Ellis who can play the 1 and the 2. They don't need a point guard. Like, there's really no team in the NBA that would utilize a Tyrese Martin outside of the Nets and the Wizards. So the over-glorifying of him as a fan base is so utterly gross. It was the same shit that was done last year with Cam Johnson. And look what he's doing now. Dog shit. He's horrible, which is why I was so on his ass about ruining games for us last season while we were trying to bottom out for a top-tier pick. Don't want to watch it again. I don't care about Tyrese Martin the same way that I didn't care about Cam Johnson, the same way that I didn't care about Joe Harris when the Nets were competing. I can go down the list of role players who have been over-glorified while we're at our worst, who then think that they're going to be these great players when it's time to start winning. They're not.
The Joe Harris love affair was particularly alarming. I've said this before. Sean Kilpatrick was a better Brooklyn Net than Joe Harris. Joe Harris sucked. Joe Harris wasn't good. Joe Harris single-handedly blew a playoff series when we could have won a championship. Single-handed blew that series. If Joe Harris just doesn't suck that bad, if he can at least hit his shots, which is the only thing he's paid to do, he's got one job. That's it. Hit a couple of threes. You've got no midi. You can't even hit free. He's like a 75% free throw shooter. Like, there's only one thing Joe Harris can do. He's a blunt object. He can hit threes. He couldn't even do that. Like, Joe Harris is a horrendous Brooklyn Net. Why they have a love affair with him, I'll never quite understand.
I genuinely think that this guy's a fucking. I almost.
Yeah, no, he's a troll.
I almost let one slip. This dude's a fucking moron, though. Like, I'll give him the time of day. If you're going to sit here and complain about a bunch of 18, 19-year-olds, but you're going to suck the bottom of this dude's toes, who's 26 years old, who's barely ever had NBA playing time because he's a fucking nobody, you're a loser, dude. Like, genuinely, go be a fan of the Wizards. Nobody wants you here.
You could have said the Knicks, but the Wizards too. That's fine. Yeah, I just don't know what you expect. Tyrese Martin, like you said, is 26, almost 27 years old. This is as good as he gets. So he's in his physical prime, and he's a borderline NBA player at best. There's not one other team in the league where he cracks the rotation. No. So what are we like? Yes, he had a good game. What does that mean? I still don't understand why he's on the team.
This is exactly why this guy's opinion doesn't matter. Sorry, I'm a first-year Nets fan, 22 years as a Nuggets fan. So you're bouncing teams. You're a bandwagon.
Michael Porter Jr. He's following Porter Jr.
Yeah,
is that what
I don't even care what this dude has to say anymore. Not even worth the time anymore. You're not even a real fan. Next.
All right. We talked about Clowney. The improvement in his play is noticeable. I also wanted to spend a little bit of time on Claxton. It looks better. He's better at getting to the rim. He's not getting beat up every day. I'll pull up his plus minus. It's not terrible like it usually is. Is this the new and improved Nick Claxton? Is the player? I don't know if you want to call him the player we'd hope for, but is this productive Nick Claxton? Is this what we're going to get from here on out? I mean, if so, let's keep him.
Yeah, I mean, again, it really just kind of depends on who you put next to him, right? You have to put somebody who's going to be a good rebounder next to him, right? Which is why I think that he's also improved this year is because of Michael Porter Jr., who is a better rebounder than Claxton is. So it really depends on if you feel like you're going to be able to put somebody next to him that's going to benefit him. If you're going to do what you've done with him the last 3 years since the big three left, then you might as well just trade him because he's going to decline again once you potentially move on from Michael Porter Jr., which I'm hoping we don't do. But there's no way that Noah Clowney and Claxton are going to survive together without MPJ. Same way as, Claxton not being able to survive without, a real point guard out there. So it really just depends on how they're looking to build out the rest of the team. But as of right now, I would still keep MPJ and move Claxton while he's at his highest value because I do think a better center long term is needed.
What as far as Claxton, I kind of want Claxton still has 2.5 years left on his contract, so we could easily trade him in the offseason and this is me saying this, if we put Claxton together and he puts a whole season where he's getting double doubles, where he looks good defensively, what is his value? His value can only go up, right? If he plays like this for the entire season, we can get a lot more for him in the offseason than we can at the deadline, no?
But you're saying that you can get more from him in the offseason than at the deadline?
Yeah.
No, I disagree.
You don't
I think
so?
I think that you would get more from him at the deadline, especially if he plays at this pace until the deadline. Because you never know what's going to happen injury-wise, things of that nature. So I would sell high at the deadline, even if it is just one first-round pick and a young player plus a salary filler. You kind of just got to do what you got to do. Yeah, again, these comments are just absolutely fucking blasphemy right now.
I'm pissed off that Drake Powell only played 14 minutes.
I was going to say, I'm going to pop this one up real quick, just one more time. Buddy, you're a fanboy. You are not a team fan. Nobody gives a shit what your opinion is because your opinion means nothing to this entire fan base since you came here for a single player. Fuck off. That's one. Two, this is a ridiculous statement. Josh Giddey was very similar his rookie year. Slightly better, but still similar. Yegor's ceiling is Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey's on at the brink of being an all-star this year. I really don't want to have these conversations any longer. The amount of stupidity and opinions on 19-year-olds is pathetic. Just shut the fuck up and watch.
These guys aren't. Dylan's right. These guys aren't old enough to order a drink. They're not old enough to buy a pack of cigarettes. Like
I was gonna say, Yegor is because he grew up in Russia, so 18 in Europe. But I mean, my God,
they can't order a drink here. Yeah,
no, it's just it's a joke. My emotions are good. I just think you guys are stupid as shit sometimes.
Yeah,
I'm very straightforward. I don't think
has he been emotional at all, or has he just spoken?
My tone has been the same the entire time. Like I said, I don't get emotional. I will go back and forth with you. I don't care because the difference is I actually know how basketball works as a whole from start to finish, from the business end of it. Like you've got to just sit back and watch rookies develop. Not every rookie is going to come into the league and play like LeBron James or Victor Wembanyama or any top tier pick that you can think of and who's considered a generational player. If there's anybody who has emotions in this fan base, it's the people who have never actually sat here and watched a real rebuild with the Nets because we haven't actually had one. We've never owned our own picks. So you're sitting here putting unreal expectations on players who aren't top 3 picks. Like, just sit back, shut up, watch the game. The kid's improved since the summer league. He's improved since preseason. He had one bad game against a team who's second in the East right now, who has 3.5 All-Stars on their team. Yes, I'm calling RJ Barrett a half an All-Star. But you know what I mean? Like, you just sit back, shut up, watch the game. Nobody cares what your opinions are on 19-year-olds. Judge them when they're in the final year of their rookie deal.
The games are much more entertaining to watch this year than last year. I want to shout out John here. This Tyrese Martin hype is getting scary. Dude is 26 on a minimum salary and playing more minutes than Yegor and Powell. Now people are talking about a vet developing at 26. Yeah, Martin's is what he is. He's what he is. That's it. Like, he's not changing. That's one. Two is, on what planet does it make sense? And I hate beating this dead horse, but on what planet does it make sense to play Tyrese Martin more minutes than Drake Powell? How does that make sense?
It doesn't. If you were to put Tyrese Martin, if you were to look at me and say Tyrese Martin is our best bench player, that's how you know you're one of the worst teams in basketball.
Yeah. We're not one of the worst teams in basketball. As far as roster, we're the worst roster in basketball. I don't even think it's particularly close. Guys, look at this. Look, here's our 10-man rotation. Michael Porter Jr., Noah Clowney, Nick Claxton, Terrence Mann, Yegor, Jalen Wilson, Zaire Williams, Daron Sharp, Tyrese Martin, Drake Powell. There's not a worse rotation. There's not a worse 10-man rotation in basketball, man. There's not.
And it's not even worse. It's not even the worst because it's genuinely bad. It's just young.
Yeah,
young players aren't going to sit here and win you games. It doesn't happen. So again, give it time. Give it a year.
Which is what we see. They played hard. They tied the game late in the fourth quarter, a couple minutes left, and then they lost by 10 because they can't close the game because they're not good. They're not good because they're young. That's why they're not good. It's what it is. But there's one bright spot, Michael Porter Jr. You've made an intriguing case for him. He's got all-star numbers. Obviously, what he has working against him is he plays on the Brooklyn Nets. Does Porter have a case for being this, 16 games in whatever we are? Does he have a case to be an all-star?
110%.
I agree.
I put the post up the other day, and still somehow we have people reminiscing on this team, by the way. But if you look at the stats compared to D'Angelo Russell and his time here when he was an all-star that year, D'Lo averaged 21.1 points, 7 assists, and 3.9 rebounds. He shot 43.4% from the field and 36.9% from three. He also shot under 80% from the free throw line. MPJ so far this season is averaging, minus this game, of course, 24.8 points, 7.7 rebounds, 3.1 assists. That's career highs in points and assists. He's also shooting 48.6% from the field, which is 5% better than D'Lo, and he's also shooting 37.5% from three, which is 0.6 better than D'Lo. So, regardless, he's having a better individual season than D'Lo was while with the Nets. Is he an all-star in my eyes? Yes. Will he probably get it because the Nets are one of the worst teams in basketball and because there's so many guys in this league who are really good? Probably not. But does he deserve it? 110%.
Yeah, I tend to. If you look at his numbers, and look, all-star games are based on the numbers. That's for better or for worse, fair or not, you get put on the all-star game for your numbers. If you look at his numbers, he should be in the all-star game. Is he going to make it? I tend to agree with Dylan. I doubt it because he plays for the Brooklyn Nets. If he was putting up these numbers on, the D'Lo Nets, the 18-19 Nets that we all love, the 18-19 Nets. If the Nets were 500, he'd probably be an all-star.
I was going to say, right now, yeah. MPJ is tied with Norman Powell for the 18th best points per game for the year.
Yeah.
Him, Pascal Siakam, and Norman Powell are within 0.1 of each other. Julius Randle is 0.1 less than MPJ for points per game.
And I know Julius Randle ain't doing it with the same efficiency. I was
going to say, Michael Porter Jr. is averaging more points per game than Julius Randle, Kevin Durant, Franz Wagner, Alperen Sengun, Jalen Johnson, Karl Anthony Towns, Paolo Banchero, Brandon Ingram. Like, he's
to go along with 8 rebounds a game.
Yeah, this is all-star numbers. It's not even debatable. I mean, if you're looking at it from a rebounds per game perspective as well, he is currently 28th in the league in rebounds per game. As a small forward, power forward.
So he's top 20 in scoring and top 30 in rebounding. That's an all-star. Yeah. Who's doing it on extremely efficient shooting.
I was going to say, out of all the guys that are ahead of him on the rebounds per game list, only Jokic, Wemby, Cat, Jalen Duren, Giannis, so that's 5. Giddey 6, Sengun 7, Jalen Johnson 8, Evan Mobley 9, Paolo 10, Luka 11. There's only 11 guys who are and Chet Holmgren, so 12. There's only 12 guys ahead of him that are actually going to likely be all-stars out of those 27 guys that are ahead of him. You know what I mean?
Look at the guys that are ahead of him on the rebounding list. How many guys are averaging more than 25 and 8? How many of them actually have more points and rebounds than Michael Porter Jr.?
That are ahead of him? PJ Washington isn't averaging 25. Chet Holmgren isn't averaging 20. Or let's just put it this way. PJ Washington's averaging 15. Chet's averaging 19.3. Musa Diabate's averaging 10. Mark Williams is averaging 12. Nemes Queta on the Celtics is averaging 9.5 points. Alex Sarr 18.1. So it's Luka. You said averaging more points than MPJ.
Yeah, how many guys higher than him on the rebound list also have more points than him?
So Luka, Giannis, and Wemby and Jokic. So only 4.
You're just saying the 4 best players in the NBA. So clearly he's an all-star. I mean, the only guys that are averaging more than 25 points a game and 8 rebounds are the 4 best players in basketball.
Yep, pretty much. Yep.
And then it's Michael Porter Jr. So, I think the case is made. I don't want to throw shade at Eric Slater on Locked On Nets, but he said over and over again that Cam Johnson is a better basketball player than Michael Porter Jr. A sentence I never fully understood. Is it suffice to say 16 games in that was a ridiculous statement? And Michael Porter Jr. clearly is leaps head and shoulders better basketball player than Cam Johnson. Is that fair to say?
If you don't believe so, you live under a rock. Like it's not debatable. Even when MPJ was with the Nuggets, averaging 18 points and 7.5 rebounds, that's still better than anything that Cam Johnson has ever done in his career.
The other thing I wanted to address was when we got here, we said that Michael Porter Jr. isn't a $40 million a year player, and he won't get $40 million again. Assuming he stays healthy over the next 2 years, is Michael Porter Jr. a $40 million a year player?
Is he? Probably, but
that's what I'm saying.
But
he is.
Do I think that the Nets would bring him back for that? No, and I also don't think there's a team that would give him that. To me, if you can get him around that 28 to 33 million dollar range, that's where I would be really happy with him, because that would be second, third option money at that time, right? So to me, that's the role that he will be with us long term if he is to stay, right? So to me, 28 to 30 million is where I would want to bring him back at.
Let's say all goes well this year and we get the number 1 and number 2 pick and we get Peterson. Long term, let's say it was going to cost you between 35 and 40 to keep Michael Porter Jr. Okay, beyond next year, and you have a chance moving forward where you can build, where you have Jaeger at the point, Peterson at the 2, and then Michael Porter as your best player until Peterson passes him. So you'd have 1, 2, 3 with Porter as your 3. As your small forward.
Who would be your 2?
Darren Peterson.
Who would be your 1?
Jaeger.
Oh, Jaeger. Oh, you're talking about positional wise.
I'd say what. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Because I was going to say, because in terms of options,
not in terms of role on team. Yeah.
MPJ 2, Jaeger 3. Yeah. I mean, I don't hate that. Like, you just have to fill out the rest of the rotation around them to give them that push. But I mean, there's a real chance that would be something that is beneficial. Do I think Jaeger by year 2 or 3 is going to be a full-time third option? Probably not. I think he's going to be similar to Giddey, where it takes him 4 or 5 years to really hit that next level, which I'm fine with. Again, a 6'9" point guard. How many of those guys that are 6'6" and above at the point guard position fail in the NBA today? The worst one currently is Lonzo Ball, and he's one of the better role players you can have in the league. So
he's having a rough season, but yeah.
To me, the ceiling on Jaeger is tremendous. And again, the stats are very similar to what Josh Giddey was the first couple of games of his career and the first year of his career. I think Giddey ended up finishing his rookie year averaging like 12, 6, and 5. Is there a possibility Jaeger can do that? 100%. Do I think he's going to be up to 6 rebounds his rookie year? Probably not. But could he be in that like 11 to 13 points per game, 5 to 6 assists per game? 100%. So again, you just got to give it time. I think Jaeger is our Giddey. Minus the allegations, but you know what I mean.
If you told me that we have Michael Porter Jr. and we get to keep him beyond next year at a price range between 35 and 40 million, I'm excited for that. I don't think that sounds like a huge number, but when I show you who actually makes $40 million, you're gonna say, yeah, I guess that's about right. Like OG makes $40 million, Bridges makes 36 million dollars. The level of player that makes 35 to 40 million, Porter is as good or better than those guys. So I know he's got an injury history, but if I have Jaeger on a rookie deal, if I have Darren Peterson on a rookie deal, I'm happy to give Porter $40 million. Honestly, I am.
Have you seen Con Knepel's last 6 games?
I have not.
28, 26, 28, 24, and 32 points. 6-1, 8, 7, and 3 rebounds. 7 threes made today, 6 threes made in his prior game. He also had 7 assists in the game that he had 28 points and 8 rebounds. This dude's unreal, man.
Yeah, it's super efficient. So he's got the one bad game, but he's got 12 for 20, 3 for 10, 9 for 16, 11 for 20, 9 for 12, 9 for 17. 7 of 11 from 3 today, 6 of 9 from 3 yesterday. So in the last 24 hours, roughly, he's 13 for 20. That's 3 pointers.
He's ridiculous, dude.
That's your boy. I said I want nothing to do with him. I said that's Joe Harris. I don't want him. Okay, I was wrong. He can play.
I said it during the draft process. Austin Reeves and a modern day Klay Thompson, all into one. He's got the vision. He's got the rebounding. He's got the size. He's got the pace of game. He's got the IQ. He's got the scoring. He's got the floor spacing. He's going to be the best third, second option in basketball within like 5 years. if you put him on the right team or if you give him the right pieces over in Charlotte.
I wanted to bring this up. How much more, look, if it's better or worse or indifferent, I don't know. But how much, as a viewer, as a fan of the team, how much more fun is it watching the Brooklyn Nets without Cam Thomas? I'm not trying to hit on Cam Thomas. I'm just pointing out the obvious. How much more fun is it to watch the Nets without Cam Thomas?
It's 100 times better than watching Cam Thomas. The ball moves around.
That's what I'm saying.
Guys
it's
improve.
So much better without Cam Thomas.
Guys improve. It's not even close. Like, just Cam Thomas is not meant for this organization. He's really not meant for modern day NBA. He's just not a guy that is going to fit in many places. And if he is going to be one of the guys, say on a team like, Sacramento or something, which is where I think he may end up going, good. You're still going to lose over there, but hey, he can drop 27 points per game on below league average efficiencies. Woohoo.
That's what I'm saying. He's not Carmelo Anthony. He's not Jalen Brunson. He's not so good where he can dominate the ball like this. It's not like he's taking all these shots and scoring efficiently. He's not scoring efficiently, and that's the problem, right? Like, if he was taking all of these shots and he had 47-38 shooting splits, you'd be like, okay, all right, shoot. The problem is he takes a bunch of shots and misses a bunch of shots. They're not going in at a high clip. So that's a problem. Can he make extremely difficult shots? Is he a unique shot maker? Yes. Does he shoot the ball efficiently? Not at all. And it's shooting the ball inefficiently isn't acceptable in today's game. It's just there are too many other good guys that can make shots for you to be forcing up shots. It just doesn't work in today's game. Back in the early 2000s, where each team had two guys on their team that could make shots. Okay, go to work, Carmelo. Go to work, Iverson. I don't really care about your efficiency because no one else can make a shot. That's not today's NBA. Today's NBA is filled with shot makers, difficult shot makers. There's no reason for Cam Thomas to be putting up 100 bad shots a game. It doesn't make any sense.
I agree.
I know you're on a time thing. How you doing? How you doing on time?
Doing good.
Okay. The Nets come back tomorrow. Play the Knicks. Back to back. We didn't get to see much of Drake Powell. I don't think he's going to start, but can we see 25 plus minutes of Drake Powell?
I would think so tomorrow. I mean, you're on a back to back. You need to let the young kid play. It doesn't really help us that the Pacers are playing the Pistons tomorrow, but if I'm not mistaken, did the Pistons play today?
I don't know.
Trying to find out. Oh, they didn't play today? Damn,
no.
I was hoping they would be sitting some people. Maybe they still will, but regardless, hopefully the Pacers can pull out a win and we lose, because that'll put us back at the 3rd overall spot and just a half game behind the Pelicans. So hopefully some things start moving here because we need it badly, especially knowing right now, looking at the schedule or looking at Tankathon, we are a game behind the Pacers for the number 3 pick, and we're only a half a game ahead of Charlotte and Sacramento, which would drop us all the way down to 6. We're only a game ahead of the Mavericks for 7, and we're only a game and a half ahead of the Clippers, which that pick's going to OKC for the 8th overall pick. So you really got to start losing games here.
I mean,
which is crazy to say.
They're losing games. They're
that's
3
what I'm
and
saying.
13.
Like, that's crazy to say that you have to lose games when you're 3 and 13. Like, what's going on in the NBA right now is a fucking disgrace. The fact that you have 8 teams that are 5 and 12 or worse is a joke. And I can't help but reiterate it again. Kawhi Leonard is the most overrated player in basketball history. I fucking hate that guy. How do you have that team in Los Angeles with Harden, with Zubac, with John Collins? Like, they have a team and they suck. It makes no sense.
They're so bad. They're
horrible.
So bad. Yeah, they're horrendous.
Like, Kawhi should just retire.
He basically has, but if he retired, he'd stop getting paid. So he's no showing, no working right now.
He's at Ben Simmons level. Let's just put it that way.
He really is. He really is.
Yep.
And I love the club, but Dylan ain't wrong. This is ridiculous what he's doing at this point. John says we could have drafted Kalkbrenner to be our center and not have to pay him $25 million like we're paying Claxton right now. He's not wrong. We could have drafted Kalkbrenner. It would have been nice. We could have drafted him several times. If we had a redraft, who would you rather have, Wolf or Kalkbrenner?
Upside-wise, I think Wolf has the higher upside.
All right.
I mean, if you look at their games, if you put them next to each other and you break down their games individually, Kalkbrenner's a better shot blocker and post defender. Wolf is a better floor spacer, a better ball handler, a better passer. Like, he beats him in most categories. You just have to wait for the physicality to be NBA ready, and he should be good to go. But, I mean, is he ever going to be a starting center? No. Should Kalkbrenner be a starting center? Also no. They just have no center over there.
Okay,
So,
well, let me ask you a question. If you're two bigs, and I know this is not ideal, if you're two bigs, are Kalkbrenner and Wolf, who's starting?
as of today, Kalkbrenner. 2 years from now, Wolf.
Okay. I'm hoping I'm wrong about Wolf. I'm hoping Wolf pans out. Also, Nola Torre tore it up in the G League.
Yeah.
What does it mean anything? Does that mean anything, or is it something?
I mean, to hit 6 of 9 of your 3-point shots when you couldn't hit a 3 for an entire summer league preseason minimal minutes that you've played in the NBA, yeah, I mean, that's a great sign. So, in all honesty, I would like to see Traore in the G League probably up until around after the deadline, and then bring him up for the last, 2.5 months. But yeah, let him keep progressing in the G League.
Let me put you're saying you want to get serious about losing. And then you say, I want to see Traore in the G League. Well, if you're serious about losing, don't you want to see Traore on the roster in Brooklyn?
I think that you don't need to play all 5 of them. Like, it's not the end of the world if all 5 of them aren't up there. It's clear that Saraf is probably going to be back up in Brooklyn once he's back from his ankle injury, right? Wolf should be coming back up to Brooklyn once Day'Ron Sharpe gets traded, because that's most likely going to happen. So I think it'll come with time. They're definitely trying to raise the values of some players, but I wouldn't be worried if Traore is the only one that doesn't play until, late February.
Traore is the one I wanted to see, because I think there's a tremendous amount of upside in Traore, especially if he can shoot the ball fairly efficiently. If he can shoot the long ball, he becomes a dynamic player. Saraf and Wolf are the ones And again, I'm not trying to be hard on Saraf. Shout out to Leaf. Leaf's like, he's the 27th pick in the draft. What the hell did you expect? Fair enough. But like to me, just based on his speed and his ability to blow past you, I want to see Traore. I want to see what he can do.
I agree. I mean, like I said when we first got him, he reminds me a ton of Andrew Nembhard. Great on-ball defender, really good secondary ball handler and playmaker. If he can just get the floor spacing down, he's literally Andrew Nembhard. It's the perfect 6th man to have in Brooklyn long term.
I agree. If he could fill in that 6-man role long term, especially if our starting 1 and 2 is Yegor and Peterson, that would be great. That'd be ideal. He's 6'5", so he's got the body and the speed to guard 1 or 2. He could probably guard 3s also. His versatility, can he guard 3s too, or is it just pretty much 1s and 2s?
Nah, I would say 1 and 2s.
Just 1s and 2s?
Yeah.
I'm pretty much. So tomorrow, the Knicks, does that game hold any? I tried to go through this as quick as possible because I know you're on time restraints. Tomorrow's game against the Knicks, is that important to you at all? Is there anything you want to see tomorrow? Or is it's just any other game against the Knicks?
Any other game, just lose.
I don't think you're gonna have to worry. What was the last time? I don't even know. This is a trivia question. What was the last time that the Nets?
We are 0-11 against the Knicks, I believe, in our last 11 games. It's either 0-10 or 0-11.
So we lost to him once this year already, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that game was painful too. So then we lost to him 4 times last year, 4 times the year before. That's 8, 9. So the last time we beat him was like Kevin Durant still here when we beat him?
Yeah.
Good job, guys. Good job. I don't really care if they beat the Knicks or not.
I was gonna say, but that was the same thing with the Celtics too, up until that second game in the NBA Cup. We hadn't beaten them in like 9 or 10 straight. So we're due for a win against them. Just hopefully it's not tomorrow.
That was like when we had that streak against San Antonio, where we hadn't won in San Antonio in 20 years. And they said that to Steve Nash in the press conference. He was like, really? We haven't beaten them in San Antonio in 20 years. And yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah, just got to Just got to keep losing. I mean, if you're looking at the Nets schedule as of right now, you've got the Knicks tomorrow, you've got the
Let me pull it up.
76ers. Um, I was about to say, damn, we don't play for 4 more days after tomorrow?
3. It's 3. It's Sunday, Monday, then we're off Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right?
Yeah, we don't play until Friday, so 4 full
Right.
days.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you'll have
3 days off. Yeah. And then we play.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, but it is a back-to-back though, which is a good thing. So you got the 76ers on Friday, the Bucks on Saturday. That game scares me.
Yeah. Good. And I got a question.
I was just gonna say, yeah, you got them. You got the Hornets on December 1st. Again, game that scares me. You got the Bulls on the 3rd, Jazz on the 4th, Pelicans on the 6th. Like these are some pretty must-lose games, especially against teams like Charlotte, Utah. I mean, yeah, Utah, you need to let them beat you because you don't want OKC getting another pick. Or actually, I'm sorry, that's a game that we may actually want to win, so their pick stays protected. But the Hornets, the Pelicans, like you got to lose those games. 76ers, you got to lose that game. You cannot let OKC have 3 lottery picks because as of right now they do. Um, you got Miami, Toronto, Philly again, Minnesota, Golden State, Houston. That should be 6 straight losses. You got the Wizards to open up January on January 2nd. These are all must-lose games moving forward. So gotta just put the heads down. 15 games lost in a row is the goal. Gotta do it.
I mean, look, we're gonna win some games. Like I said, with 3
We
and
are.
13,
We are.
yeah. Is it just me, or are we playing way like we have 3 back-to-backs in a week and a half? Are there way more back-to-backs this year than there have been in the past? I don't ever remember this many back-to-backs. 3 in a week and a half.
I mean, this could be the last time we see back-to-backs because the league's got to start getting rid of this shit. It's just not good for the players.
They've done it since time immemorial. Now all of a sudden they can't do it anymore.
Well, you also have to think of how much the league's progressed with athletes. Like the more athletic these guys get, the more their bodies are going to deteriorate quicker.
Yeah. I mean, is that something you foresee? You foresee the league getting rid of back-to-backs?
I would think so. I mean, there's nothing necessary about them.
Well, it's going to make scheduling really, really difficult not to have back-to-backs. You have to stretch out this
every other day or every 2 days. Like it's really not too hard. Because then think about it. When you have these back-to-backs, then you don't play for 3 or 4 days after. It's the same shit.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You might as well just get rid of back-to-backs. It's not even worth it.
Yeah, my only thought on that was that it's going to make scheduling difficult. But I'm sure, like, look, you can probably figure that out in AI. You could probably ask AI to generate the schedules.
That's what they already do.
Is it? Yeah.
I was gonna say I think they use a company called Fast Break AI to do their scheduling.
Okay. There you go. All right. But then how do you get all like the Christmas Day matchups and stuff? I guess
they probably just pick the teams they want to see for that.
Yeah. All right. It's probably not that difficult. So we got the Knicks, Philly. That's at Philly. You should lose.
I
that
say
game.
those 2 games are losses. Milwaukee, as of right now, is 50-50 because Giannis is most likely going to be out. Charlotte, if LaMelo
There's
plays,
a stretch
I
there
think
where you
that
could
should be a
win 2
loss.
out of 3 here. Honestly, home for Philly, at Milwaukee, home for Charlotte. You could go 2 and you could go 2 and 1 in that span.
I hope not.
I know, but I'm saying it's realistic. You could lose all 3 too. Like that's more likely. Yeah, you lose all 3 than you. But yeah, I thought this was a like starting with the Washington game and then going to the Charlotte game. I thought that was a stretch of the schedule where you could win a bunch of games. So far, they are 2-2 in that. So this, yeah, if you're rooting for the tank, if you're rooting for the odds, these 4 games I think are important that you lose at least 3 of them, if not all 4.
Definitely.
But if they were 1-3, if they won one of these next 4, you'd be happy with that, right?
If we won one of the next 4,
yeah.
no,
If you win one, these are not automatic losses. You have home.
No, I get that, but I don't want to win. And like realistically, you can't beat Charlotte, you can't beat Utah, you can't beat New Orleans. You got to lose those games. Even Philly, you can't beat them.
So if you could sign up for 1-3, you wouldn't sign up for it and you'd roll the dice on 0-4?
Yeah.
Okay.
I need it.
1-3.
We need
All
it. This organization needs it. Washington isn't winning any games anytime soon. and that's another game that's popping up on the schedule down the road is Washington. So
It's tough. Yeah, Washington should not be this bad. This is
yeah,
getting
I'll
wild.
I'll take the fines. Sit Nick Claxton, sit Tyrese Martin, sit Michael Porter Jr. Like shit, bring back Cam Thomas. Let him play on a half a hamstring. The guy loses games like there's no tomorrow anyway. So put him out there.
This is just because we were at the Hornets game. We saw firsthand how much better Charlotte is than the Brooklyn Nets. Why do they have virtually the same record, half a game separating them? Why?
LaMelo's injuries again.
But still, like there was such a huge difference in the Nets and the Hornets. Like the Hornets were clearly way better. The Hornets are not this bad. Like they're not.
No, they're not. There's a lot of organizational issues over there, and the LaMelo inconsistencies because of his injuries is just it's not doable for him. They're gonna have to either move off of him or move off of Brandon Miller for somebody who's more consistent with their health. But having both of those guys on your team who miss 45 plus games per season, it's not feasible for them to win games long term. There's too much there's too much lineup differences each and every game because of them.
And then the Pelicans are the only team in the West with a worse record than the Nets, although the Kings are close, and so are the Mavs. But the Pelicans are trying to win, you would imagine. They're just that bad, I guess. But again, they have a roster, even without Zion, their roster is still way better than ours. Why are these teams able to, and New Orleans not even trying to do this, right? Like they don't even own their own pick. Why are these other teams so much better at this than we are?
I really don't know. Like realistically, as of right now, I have a gut feeling we finish as the 5th worst team in basketball because I do think the Wizards, the Kings, the Grizzlies, and if you go back to the West real quick,
The Mavs,
potentially the Clippers. Like they're just so bad. I think the Jazz probably finish at 6. I think the Pacers end up getting out of the top 8.
okay.
But I mean,
so too, but
it's really bad.
yeah, what these teams are doing here? You have like a quarter, more than a quarter of the league with 5 wins or less this late in the season. Is what does the NBA do about it though? Like, what do you do about it? I don't know.
Get rid of the fucking lottery and let these teams that suck get some players. I mean, how many more times can you see a team that's a play-in team and is only a play-in team because of injuries boost their way up to a top 3 pick and land a great talent? Like, it's not helping the league. The 1 through 4 picks on draft night should be in its own lottery, which is just keep them in the top 4, but you can shuffle it however you want. You can do the lottery with them. Same thing for picks 5 through 10, same thing, or picks 5 through 9, and then same thing for picks 10 through 14. Have them in their own separate lotteries, but they can't go any further up than what, that little pick range is, because it's truly screwing up the level of competition in the NBA. Like Wemby, Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper. That should be physically fucking impossible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
like
the
it's
NBA,
just VJ Edgecombe to Philly shouldn't even be possible.
I think the NBA saw. Well, that was a pick they traded for. No, that was their pick. Never mind.
No, that was their pick. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was their pick.
Yeah,
it went to OKC if it finished out of the top 7 or 8 or something like that. You're right. It was their pick. But my point is, I think the NBA saw what was happening with OKC. They knew that OKC was going to be the team to beat, so they started building up teams in the West. Ideally, San Antonio and the Lakers. They got the Lakers, Luka, and then they got San Antonio. Everything they got San Antonio simply to compete with OKC. Because I don't know how you stop what OKC is doing right now. They have the best roster and the best future in the NBA. Right? They have the best picks and the best roster. What do you do about it?
That's what I'm saying. Like you gotta separate the lottery. If you want to keep the lottery just so this way you can make draft night a little bit more interesting, by all means do so. But you have to make the bottom 4 teams eligible to stay in the top 4. Like realistically, the Wizards fucking suck. They need something. The Nets suck. They need something. The Pelicans suck. They need something. You can't keep letting these teams be so bad because all you're doing is losing money as a business. Like the Pelicans, there's already talks that they may be relocating because they don't have a fan base. Same thing with the Grizzlies. The Nets already had to do it. Like you can't keep these teams out of getting good players just so you can keep your good teams funneling in money. Like it doesn't work. It cancels each other out. You're still losing money regardless.
Where would the and I love New Orleans as a city, by the way, but where would the Pelicans be going?
I have no clue. I mean, I know that there's talks that Seattle and Vegas are going to be the new expansion teams.
Teams,
There's
right?
been rumors about a second Toronto team, a Mexico City team, St. Louis. There's
A
been
second Toronto team?
not Toronto, meaning just
As
Canada.
a second
team.
Canadian team? So
Yeah,
Montreal, or where would they put it?
I don't even know. Maybe Vancouver because there's already a hockey team over there.
They tried it in Vancouver. It didn't
Yeah, and
work.
Montreal has
Yeah.
a. Yeah, I was gonna say
Maybe it would
Montreal
work
also
better
has a.
now. Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, regardless, like there's going to be a lot of reshuffling here shortly over the next 3 years. That's the talks as of right now. Is there's 2 guaranteed new teams coming into the league, plus potentially 2 to 3 teams getting reshuffled into new locations. So I don't know. You got to do something though to get these teams that are stuck at the bottom to elevate their teams because the lottery
Nets go
clearly
back
has
to
shown
Jersey.
it's screwing it.
Back to Jersey for the Nets.
I wish.
If I own the Nets, I'd put them back in Jersey.
It's so
Get
much better.
them a
The
Jersey-based fan
colorway's
base back.
better. The
Yeah.
sound of the team name sounds better. It's just
I'm with you. I'm with
it's
you.
cheaper
I
to
would
get there from where I'm at.
from where
Like
from where Dylan's at. From where Nets, it's easier for Nets press. No, I'd put it, to me. It doesn't matter. Like I live in Texas now, so I don't care where they play. But like the New Jersey Nets were cool. Like I like going to the Izod Center. It was cool.
yeah, we had
and they
that little wolf as a mascot, you know.
yeah, Sly Fox.
Yeah,
We should, yeah, and those jerseys were the best. Like these jerseys are just like. Oh, by the way, I just ordered the City Edition Drake Powell jersey. So that should be in
there you go.
There you go. And for what he did Saturday, I also ordered an Arch Manning jersey.
Oh God,
He's been really good. You check his numbers after the first.
I did see that he had that 6 touchdown game, but I mean, I gotta see it for a year.
4 passing, 1 receiving, 1 rushing. He got one every way.
He hit the hat trick. There you go.
Yeah. Check his numbers. Like Mendoza's going to win the Heisman, right? The last 5 weeks of the season, check Arch Manning's numbers compared to Mendoza's. Arch is better.
Interesting.
Against better team. Arch is like outside of the first couple of weeks where he was horrendous. Arch has been really good, and there's no one harder on him than me, right? Like I'm not a guy that roots for Longhorns I didn't want Trey Johnson. I was the biggest critic of Quinn Ewers. I was the biggest critic of Arch Manning. The last few weeks, Arch Manning has been excellent. Not good. He's been excellent.
Yeah.
All right. I know you're busy tomorrow. What's the schedule for the rest of the week?
I'm not too sure yet. I'll have to let you know, but we'll figure something out.
All right. Any closing thoughts?
Please get Tyrese Martin off my team.
He's starting now. He just got put back in the start lineup after the 26.
God, I hope not.
I don't get it. But guys, gentlemen, little man advice: get a woman who loves you the way that Jordy loves Tyrese Martin. All right. That's it. You got anything else, Dylan? You got anything?
No, that's it. That is it.
All right. It is November 23rd, 2025, from Texas to the world. Thank y'all, and God bless.